Man, congratulations on your journey. I'm so proud of what you're doing because there's so many people in the world of music that are hiders. They're still sitting in their bedrooms dreaming of doing it, but don't have the courage to step out.
Well, thank you. I'm very happy to do it as well.
How did you break through that wall? Because, I mean, when it comes to creativity, the first thing that everybody fears is judgment.
Honestly, I had to face judgment most of my life, so I think I got pretty used to that. And being at the age of 30, I think I just did I think I did a pretty good job of just kind of growing into who I am, accepting who I am, loving who I am, and being proud of that. And so being on a platform like that where you have a lot of eyes on you, I wasn't I was proud. I wasn't nervous of that. I was proud. I wanted to say, here I am. This is who I am. Hi, how you doing?
I love that about you. And because I do a thing that's called defragging. I keep a defrag journal and I do a vocal defrag, which is ask the questions, then question the answers. Because you've got to build up that relationship of who am I? Do I love myself? Not out of conceit, out of true, honest to God love, so that we can grow forward. And it sounds like that you are in that place where you're at peace.
I definitely am. And I think that I feel in my heart that music hadn't happened yet because I wasn't who I needed to be yet. Yeah. And now I'm exactly who I'm meant to be. I'm ready to be that person out loud. And I think that a music career is like aligned perfectly with my journey and my self-growth.
Now, when it comes to the music career, let me ask you a question, because as a creative spirit, do you find yourself in a place of the music that you sing could be the writer inside your heart, and that singing is just the writer having a voice?
Yes, absolutely. I think that every voice is incredible and unique, but it also matters what you're singing and the message behind the voice.
Where do you go when you go into that moment of it's like because you can feel a song physically building up inside your heart, and then all of a sudden you've got to let it go. But where do you go in order to let it grow?
I don't know how to explain that, really. It's just it's a thing that I've done my whole life. I've struggled through a lot of adversity in my life, and music was something that I always did to get my emotions out of me. Like all the pain and sadness or whatever, I would sing at the top of my lungs and belt it all out. And, that was my way of getting it out. And so I feel like my emotions and my heart is permanently attached to my voice.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
No, I totally get that. I totally get that.
Yeah, that's just how I've sang my whole life because of those reasons. So I feel like now whenever I go to sing a song, I can, that's what I try to do. I try to my best to just connect the passion and the message of the song that I'm singing to my voice.
Do you ever find yourself in a position of looking back at the changes and the challenges and the judgment and realize that you were a student all along, and then as you continue to grow, especially now that the world sees you, that you get into an area where you go, I'm going to take what I went through that felt really bad, and I'm going to teach somebody who's going through it right now that you can reach beyond that moment of question?
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons why I decided to be authentically myself and to tell my story. I didn't want, I don't really, well, before, it wasn't something I just go around talking about, like, oh yeah, when I came out, my family abandoned me and, I went through all these things. It's not something I normally talk about, but I chose to talk about it despite how difficult it is and despite how great my family is now and how far they've come, because it was still something that I went through in my life that I know other people go through as well. And I know that people needed to see a happy ending, like it's scary and it can be hard and it can be tough, but with time and patience and love and forgiveness, like you can get to this great place, not just me, the queer person going through it, but also the family, they can get you, and it's okay to change your mind and to, love your your family as you should.
See, and that's why you're a teacher, because you do have that confidence and that courage to be open, because there are families that are in question, that are denying it. And it's times like we're in right now where we need people like yourself to keep it real and to keep it at a peaceful pace.
Yes, I agree. And I'm happy to do so. Definitely moving forward in a music career, I want to be an advocate for the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we need that, because, I mean, look at, I swear that you can see it in the public eye that the hiding is coming back, because nobody wants to come out. They don't want to talk about it because because it's getting harder and harder every day for even marriages to even be together, because the government wants to break down, or people want to break it down. And that can't happen.
No, absolutely not. I've been able to be where I am today because of other brave queer people before me. And so I feel like in order to give the next generation the same experience, there has to be more people like them to speak out and to be themselves and to fight the good fight. And so I'm happy to be that person now. And that's what I mean when I say I wasn't who I needed to be yet to pursue this. But now I feel like I'm ready. Well,
even at 30 years old, dude, I mean, it's like I'm 60, and I feel like that at 60, I love the knowledge that I've moved through. I can't wait to talk to you when you're 60, because I want to know what you've learned and how you've turned those experiences into a musical journey, because people can't do that. But you've learned that authenticity of the self that you are.
Yes, and absolutely. I'm still growing every day. I growing up in an environment where it wasn't super accepting of who I am, I have so many layers on me. Yeah. I like all these things to cover this up. So throughout my time out, I have slowly been uncovering and peeling back all of those layers that I put on myself. And with every layer that I take off, I learn more. And I meet new people and learn more about them. And there's so many other walks of life and so many other people who are just different that I've never really taken the time to learn about. And so I'm learning about myself. I'm learning about other people, and I'm excited as well. I'm excited to learn and keep learning and keep growing.
The language that you speak right now, are you a journaler? Do you keep a written journal? Because when you're talking about peeling back pieces, you're also identifying the breadcrumbs that brought you there.
I used to journal a lot more, and I would like to do it more often. If I'm being honest, I haven't, but I should.
Man, I challenge you to take your journal and turn it into a podcast, because the world will listen to it. Because when you speak with openness and everything that is about you, they're going to come and they're going to be healed. I mean, you have got so much passion inside your heart.
Thank you. That's actually a really great idea.
Now, we got to talk about mariachi and a lead vocalist in a mariachi band. How do you keep up with the pace and the rhythm of the mariachi? Because it's always about fiesta, celebration.
Yeah. Well, I grew up surrounded by all of the classic mariachi songs my grandparents played and sang, my aunts and uncles, my dad. So I was constantly surrounded by it, even when I was too young to pay attention to it and appreciate it, I was still surrounded by it. So as I got older and began to sing, it was just something that I just, it was just part of like talking almost, like it was just so natural.
Yeah, because it's still storytelling, right?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And the main thing about mariachi is projecting. So that's one of the first things that I learned whenever I actually showed interest in singing it. I learned that projection is everything, because mariachis don't have microphones and a whole PA system and everything. Like, they just have their voices and their instruments, and usually sing outside where there's no acoustic. So.
That is so true. I'd be the type of guy that would look over at the guitars going, pipe it down, man. I want to be heard. I realize you're into the music, but pipe it down.
Right. And nope, everybody's like, you know what? The louder, the better. Everybody can hear us. So you got to really project as loud as you can.
Do you find yourself that maybe somewhere along the line to connect the cultures in the way that, because I mean, you look at today's music scene, my God, American radio stations are playing Latin music with the full language. It's not Americanized. And I think that we are evolving in this nation.
Absolutely. I think that right now Latin music is like a really, really successful, maybe the most successful it's ever been, in my opinion, in America. And I love that. I love how like diverse that's become. And it's makes me feel like I can come out with a whole Spanish album and, be just as successful here, but also be like Latin pop. I really want to steer in the direction of Latin pop. Mm-hmm. But I also want to bring back a lot of my favorite classic mariachi songs that a lot of people don't know or have never heard before, and kind of sing them in my way, in my voice.
Wow. Now, do you when you say Latin music, are we talking salsa, or do you like the merengue, bachata? What?
I really like the bachata style of music, and especially like making it bilingual.
Yeah.
Like that's very Latin poppy. So I would love to come out with some music like that in the future.
Dude, I will go into the studio and I'll take the Latin version and then the English version, and I will mix them together so that when I put it on my floor, then they're getting both of them.
Right. No, I love that.
But but to go in there and mix it down though, oh my God, completely different layout of patterns sometimes.
Yes. Yes, it is very different, but I think because I'm so familiar with both, mm-hmm. I think that'll be just really easy to do.
Yeah. Being on Team Kelly, man, and I'm so jealous that you got a jacket. I really am jealous there, buddy, because I mean, I'm sure that thing is one that it's like a moment in music history when you earn that.
Right. No, I think there's only like 10 of those.
Oh my God. I mean, it's just amazing. How do you put it away and just never touch it, or what do you do with it?
I've contemplated wearing it out a couple of times just to like show off. But I have it, I do just have it hanging on the hanger, and I just appreciate it and like stare at it. I put it on every now and then just to feel that moment again, but I don't know. I think I might end up just like framing it in one of those like shadow frames or something.
Yeah. No, I totally get that, because when the Carolina Panthers, our football team, first came into town, I was the image director for the team. That meant doing my work on a competing radio station. Well, the jocks on that radio station were very upset with me when I got a leather jacket from the Panthers. And to this day, I've never worn that jacket, but I'll go in there and I'll look at it. And because, I mean, creative people, and I know you go through this, we take such a brutal beating from those that are judging, but yet we still somehow, some way make it through the mountain.
Yes, absolutely. There's always going to be so many opinions, but I always try to focus on the positive ones. Like, when the blind audition was posted everywhere, there were some negative comments, but there was like one negative comment to 200 positive ones. So I just focus on the positivity, and if I can like help one person with something, then I'm doing something right.
How do you handle the trollers? Because I mean they're everywhere, and I always sit there and I go, don't read it. But what do? I read it.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I try to keep away from it, but I end up reading it anyway. But no, I just, like I said, I will just focus on the positive comments and respond to all of the positive people, leaving a lot of love, and just show love back, and just like literally completely ignore the other people. You're
going to write a book, aren't you? I know somewhere along the line you are going to write a book. You've experienced way too much at such an early age in life, not to let it just sit there and do nothing. You're going to write a book.
Well, I love that you're professing that for me. I will hopefully write a book and start a podcast.
Yeah. There you go. Now, Kelly is also from the great state of Texas. What's that like to have someone from the same soil be your leader or mentor?
It's honestly so amazing. She's literally a sweetheart. She's exactly who she is on the TV, like that big personality, very humble, down to earth. she really makes you feel comfortable and welcome. So it's been really, really cool. And then just, yeah, knowing that she's from Texas, she understands, she understands Whataburger and sweet tea. And I love that. That's a must,
and she was a waitress. And I still look at her as being that person that would come up to your table and she would super serve the people, because that's what I get. Even when I'm watching her regular talk show, I just feel like that her mission in life is to super serve the people.
Yes, she's very, very loving in that way. When she speaks to you and talks to you, you can just like feel her love and her positive energy. She really is a light in the room.
Now, how do you turn that into a tool that you can use?
I would love to be more like her.
Yeah.
She sets that example of coming from a show exactly like this one and turning that into something great, and then remaining great and remaining a role model and an example of who to be as an artist and as a person. And so I love that. And that's just working with her and the fact that Kelly Clarkson knows my name. I'm a whole new person now.
So over the past few months, from the original audition, to even get you into the blind audition to where you are right now, what do you think has been your best decision?
I would say just remaining true to who I am.
Yes.
There's a lot of decision making in shows like these where you have to think about what's going to appeal to the people, what's going to get me to the top, and what does my heart tell me to do, and which one am I going to walk away from this experience feeling like I'm still proud of my decisions, regardless of the outcome. And so I feel like just staying true to me and my heart is the best decision.
Yeah, because it's really super easy to say yes, but when you hear no, it's hard to digest. And that I don't know how many times I've been bent in the knees because I didn't like somebody saying no to me.
Yeah. Well, and getting said no to for something you're not versus getting said no to for something you am and you stand for. It's easier to walk away. You know what I mean? Whenever it was something that you stand by and that you believe in.
That's gonna be in the first chapter of your book, right?
First chapter, maybe second episode of my podcast.
Yeah. God, I love you. I love you so much. Please come back to this show in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Absolutely. I would love to sit here and chit chat with you all day.
Excellent. Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate you having me today.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you.